What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Since this video is going up on Thanksgiving, or at least American Thanksgiving, I thought I'd do what I'm carrying for Thanksgiving. I'm going to my brother's house. I'm not hosting, so what I'm bringing along with me. I'm still going to have my regular EDC, which is probably going to be pretty minimal since I have this pouch, just probably a knife, keys, wallet, that sort of thing. But thought I'd show what I'm throwing in the bag and taking with me alongside the food and drinks and all the other random stuff you end up bringing. But I know obviously it's American Thanksgiving. In Canada, I know they have their own Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if any other countries have an equivalent holiday, but if you're not familiar, it's just a holiday where usually you gather with family and a day for giving thanks, telling people what you're thankful for, and just eating a lot of food. For most of us, it's usually turkey, ham, something centered around those, but I know people who do tamales and tacos and that sort of thing as well, so it could be really anything you want. But if your country celebrates Thanksgiving or has an equivalent holiday, I'd love to hear about it. Just love hearing about different cultures and how you celebrate. But let's get into the pouch itself. It's in a Maxpedition, just regular EDC pouch. I think this is the standard size, not the larger one, although I'm not 100% sure. I've had all these pouches for years from Maxpedition. These used to be really the only pouches I would use, and then eventually branched out and started switching it up a lot more often. But back then I would have this pouch and I would just have the same gear in it every day. It would just live in my backpack. I would never take it out. But nowadays I do a lot more swapping since I have a lot more gear. But on the outside, mesh pocket, didn't do anything in there. I think I see a safety pin in there, but that's not part of my loadout today. I just didn't take it out. On top, the patches are from It's Tactical. We have the Gray Man. It's just like a color swatch, similar to like what you'd see if you got samples for paint. And then Loose Nut EDC, this is the, I think, Midnight Edition. It's blacked out basically, 6-pack. And I should probably talk really quickly about the background. It's a little bit different today, as you can see. This is a Hank Dana from Awesome Hank Gear. And this is a new product from him. I think he's kind of testing it out, seeing how people like it. Thought it was super cool and really liked the knives in the background of this particular one, but it does come in a 2-pack. And they're 22 inches by 22 inches. They still have a little bit of microfiber over here sewn into the corner on the back side. And so really cool alternative to a normal Hank that from what we see from most EDC companies, his are usually about 5x5. And so this one's obviously significantly larger, but you still get that microfiber cloth and just kind of a different form factor that's a little bit more versatile, honestly, but also a little bit bulkier. This is the pattern on the other one. You can see it's a lot of his logos repeating and stuff like that. So really cool option from him. Definitely check them out. They're for sale right now if you're interested, or at least if you're watching this close to the time of publishing, they're for sale on his website. But let's get into the pouch. And so have a few items in here, both sides. On the left side, we'll have the Leatherman rebar. Just never know when you're gonna need a multi-tool. I like to carry that, but since it's at someone's house, most likely we end up needing some tools. They'll probably have full-size tools, so hopefully we won't get a lot of use out of that, but always like to carry one when I can. Next up is the Malga MK6, and I chose this one specifically for Thanksgiving just because I thought it was a fun one. Has the corkscrew for opening wine, it has a bottle opener and a can opener, but most importantly, it has a fork. So if you're hitting up the charcuterie board and you just want to snatch some food off of it quickly, I'd like to have the option to have that fork there. The other really cool thing about this multi-tool is the blade on it's Bowler M390, so a lot higher quality than you typically get in these Swiss Army style knives. So that's my Swiss Army knife, and then also just a simple bit driver. This is the add-on for the Victorinox multi-tool, and again, just wanted to carry that, but unlikely that I'm actually going to need it since it's going to be at someone's house and they'll probably have the full-size variety. Rounding out the elastic patches, or elastic pocket area, I have a Gondek EDC. I believe this is the Mini Executive. This one is anodized. I don't think by them. I can't remember if this one came anodized like this or if I did it, but it is anodized either way. And then just a toothpick. Obviously the holidays centered mostly around food, so after you eat, you might want to get some food out of your teeth, so just a little titanium toothpick that twists out and stores in a pretty small package. You can attach this to a keychain and stuff like that, but since most days I'm not carrying this type of toothpick, I don't have it on a keychain. Now in the back I have a few different single-use products, and I'll pull all those out of there. So first, the Shout Wipe and Go, always good to have, especially again holidays based around eating. If you get gravy or wine or anything like that on your shirt, chance to get it out before you get home. Wipes, self-explanatory, just good to have. And then this little pouch is probably the original Ziploc pouch was probably a patch or something like that inside of here, maybe stickers, I don't know. But I buy the refill kits about once every year and a half or so of medication and creams and ointments for first aid kits. So they sell refill kits that don't come with the entire thing, and these are all stuff that expire every 2 years or so, and so I like to buy replacements, and then I'll put one of each in these little Ziploc bags, and then I can throw them in different first aid kits. And so this is only medication, so you see there's antacids, ibuprofen. It'll have some antibiotic ointment, burn cream, and that sort of stuff behind there. And so have a bunch of these in various little bags like this, and just kind of threw that in there because you never know what you'll need. Now on this side I have another hank. I am actually going to carry this Hankdana in my pocket, but I threw another hank in there. This one is a little bit unique in that the front side of it is Kevlar, the back is still microfiber, but the front side is Kevlar, and so it's going to be pretty much fireproof and slice resistant, and it seems a little bit gimmicky, but it's pretty cool. You'll see there's some char marks on here. These aren't actually burns though. That was actually from anodizing something, I don't remember what, and I set it on here and the char kind of eventually charred. Maybe it's burns, maybe it wiped off from whatever I was anodizing, I don't know. But I have a lighter in here as well, so that was one of the other items. I put a Reach lighter from Bic in there, and you can see if you, maybe I need to put a different one. This one seems to be out of fluid. Oh, there we go. So I'll probably switch this out before I leave, but you can see it's gonna heat up because it's only one layer of Kevlar, so you'll start feeling it behind there, but I can kind of leave it sitting here, it's not gonna burn it. And so this is a good thing for grabbing quick pots and pans, using as under a hot tray or hot plate, something like that, and it's not gonna burn. It is relatively thin, so you're not gonna wanna hold on to stuff for a long time with it, but for just grabbing something quickly, this is pretty good. And then I also mentioned it's slice resistant, which probably not gonna come into play on Thanksgiving, but I do have a SE Rowan here, just for your kind of example. You can see my hand under there, no worries about it getting cut, or if there's gear under there, it's not gonna cut through the Kevlar. And so just kind of a cool, weird little hank that's super fun from Gondek EDC. I think they still sell these, and if not, I see them come back every once in a while. So kind of fun, and I thought good for Thanksgiving because there's a lot of hot things that you might be grabbing onto. So threw that in there as well. And again, it does still have that microfiber on the back. Continuing on to the right side, I threw a couple work tools in there. Obviously where we're headed, there's gonna be silverware, but maybe we have, on the way home, we have some leftovers, we wanna grab a quick bite, and just good to have there. So two, one for me, one for my wife. And then this kind of goes along with the medication and ointments. This is a Pizza Pirate Life, if you recognize the logo, Pizza Pirate Life Boo Boo Kit. It has a bunch of Band-Aids in there with funny sayings on there. Might need stitches, not waiting in line at the walk-in. There's one that says like again, and you can see the Band-Aids are stylized. This one says fly the flag and has a Benchmade bug out in the background. And there's also antiseptic wipes and stuff like that underneath, alcohol prep sheets or prep pads and stuff like that. And so just kind of a quick boo-boo kit. I threw a coin in there as well from Pizza Pirate Life just because it seemed like a good place to store it, but these are the ones made for sharing, so maybe if someone ends up getting cut, I'll give them a coin. I have a bunch of these ones, and the reason I threw a coin in there was actually, never know if you need to settle a dispute, flip a coin. My family gets along pretty well, but you never know if you need to flip a coin, so I wanted to have a coin in there, and that just seemed a good place to store it. For a flashlight, I brought the Rovi Vaughn Angel Eyes E3. Did a video on this pretty recently, so if you're interested, definitely check that out. And then over here in the center elastic loop, which is pretty large, I went with the UCO Titan Strike Anywhere matches, and these are waterproof matches or stormproof matches, and it has a strike pad right there on the side. Again, went with long reach for both this and the lighter because most likely whatever you're lighting on Thanksgiving, it might be a burner or something like that, a candle. It's going to be something where you're going to want to have your fingers a little bit further back, so I just went with long reach for both of those options. And then the last item I have in here is the Lander charger. This is a 6,000 milliamp backup battery. You'll notice I didn't include any wires or anything like that in here. It is wireless, which I really like. And so with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it has wireless charging. I'm sure a lot of the Android phones like the Samsung Galaxy I know does as well. And you can just drop it on there and it will charge without having to have the wire. So I didn't pack along any wires this time because it's really just for charging my phone up. So that was the last item in there. And then one other item I'm a little bit undecided on bringing, but I thought was cool, is the Brewmate wine bottle. This is an insulated wine bottle, fits an entire bottle of wine, keeps it cool, and just kind of a cool form factor in there. I'm probably not gonna actually bring this because I'm bringing a few bottles of wine plus some cider, apple cider and stuff like that. So I only have one of those bottles. I do like to bring it when I can, but since I'm bringing more bottles, it really doesn't make sense to put one in here and have all of the others be the regular bottle. So probably not gonna end up bringing that. But today in the comments, doing something a little bit different. Just would love to hear what you would change in this kit, what you're carrying for Thanksgiving, what your favorite Thanksgiving food is, and lastly, what you're thankful for. For me, obviously, always first is family, and that most of my family lives nearby. We're able to gather. We have pretty large Thanksgiving, probably 25 plus people coming, so super thankful for that. And then this year especially thankful for the EDC community. Obviously started my channel this year. It's been super supportive. It's cool to have like-minded people who are interested in the same things I am to talk to here on the channel, over on Instagram, wherever I talk to them. And so that's been super cool and super grateful for all of the support, people who've subscribed, people who haven't subscribed but have watched, liked, commented, whatever it is. I'm just super thankful for all of that. And so thank you so much. Would love to hear what you're thankful for down in the comments below. And as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.